What's going on, people? June 1st is here, and accompanying June 1st, we got moves on moves on moves. Shout out to everybody in here. My name is Alam. Welcome to another Emotional Football live stream today. We are here to talk about a lot of things, but mainly two things. We got the Myles Garrett trade and the AJ Brown trade. One of those trades we knew about for a long time. One of those trades we kind of didn't see coming. At least I didn't see it coming. If you saw it coming, like congrats to you. You might be more plugged in than me. But yeah, two major moves. We just did a live stream last night talking about the Browns. I would like to amend some of the stuff that I had to say about the Browns because I think things just got a little bit worse. But all things considered, shout out to everybody in here. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna break down all sides of both these trades. Shout out to Jared. I see you backstage. I'm gonna get you on in a bit. I'm just gonna run through like my initial thoughts and then I'll have the panel come on. But the first thing we're gonna talk about is the major trade of the day, the first move of the day, the deal that in some ways, I think it overshadowed the AJ Brown trade. I don't think that people like it didn't hit the same when that AJ Brown trade dropped after this because this was the bombshell of the day. But you got Jared Verse and 3 picks going the other way. So it's a first round pick, a second, and a third. So you're talking about a King's ransom that got traded for Myles Garrett. What I'll say is that like a lot of people have been talking about this price. I actually think it's fair. And the reason I think it's fair is because I think Jared Verse is really good. That being said, the deal makes sense for both teams, I want to say. The Cleveland Browns were going nowhere with Myles Garrett. Like we have seen, I talked about the team yesterday. I was like, this team does not look good. This team does not look like it's going anywhere. I've seen Cleveland have far better rosters than the one they have this year. So the reality is you had a depreciating asset on your hands and something that was only gonna be less and less valuable on the trade market, and a player that was probably just gonna be less and less content with being on a bad team, right? You have a very inexperienced coaching staff. Monken being a first-time head coach, Ruttenberg, I'm pretty sure being a first-time defensive coordinator. So, for Cleveland to like help forward their aims to build for the future, I think it makes sense for them. And for the Rams, they paid a pretty penny, but this is what premium players cost. Jared Verse, I think, is going to be a sensational edge rusher for a long time. But Matthew Stafford is not going to be a Super Bowl caliber quarterback forever. And this is about getting the best possible roster you can for the window while Matt Stafford can still compete. So I think this achieves a few things. It gives you a dynamic pass rusher. It gives you probably the best roster in football. It makes you the favorites for the Super Bowl. But also, I think it does a lot to massage any of the issues that may have arose from picking Ty Simpson. Because if Matt Stafford had any hangups about, are we all in on this year? Are we committed to winning? Blah, blah, blah. Fucking trade for Myles Garrett is guaranteed to put those doubts to bed. This was the wildest trade ever. Miles made the right choice to waive his no trade clause. I didn't even know he had a no trade clause. But no, it makes sense for honestly, like this is a trade where I feel like it's hard to find a loser because of course the Browns traded a great player and of course they got worse. But the point is they were going nowhere anyways. And the thing about a trade, this kind of a trade, is that I think it's the best of both worlds, which is why I would have pulled the trigger too if I was Cleveland. Because if they got, like, let's say 3 first-round picks for Myles Garrett, in my head, I would think about all the horrible picks that they could make with those first-round picks. Because that's what Cleveland can do. Like, it's definitely possible they could have traded a known commodity for a bunch of draft picks that turn into nothing, right? Cool. If they only traded for a player, it's kind of impossible to trade Myles Garrett for a player that makes sense. Like you're always going to be downgrading. But in this case, they get the slight downgrade, albeit they get like probably an all-pro, somebody with all-pro potential, and you get high-level draft picks, right? So the first-round pick this upcoming year might not be the best because the Rams are probably going to be really good. Like you're talking about a pick that's probably 29 to 32. Even if things go wrong for the for the Rams. But the second round pick the year after and the third round pick the year after, I mean, at some point you might catch some of the years where you might catch one of the years where Ty Simpson's playing. So yeah, you got good draft capital, you got a good player. I don't hate this for the Browns. Like, they were really going nowhere. They were really like, we've seen them have significantly better rosters with Myles Garrett, and we've seen that not work out. So yeah, this, from a direction standpoint, it made sense. It's not all about value for value. You have to look at the larger picture of the roster and see where a team is headed and what kind of assets could help. Now, again, I like it for the Rams because, again, it makes them a great team. I like it for the Browns. I like it for Myles Garrett. Jared Verse is probably the loser of this deal because you just went from a Super Bowl contending team in LA to a horrible team in Ohio. Now, this was made a little bit better, just a little bit better, when I learned that he's from Dayton, Ohio, so he's kind of going home right now. Maybe the return to his crib is gonna ease the pain of what's about to happen. But boy, my first thought was, I feel horrible for Jared Verse, man. This guy really has to wake up on the Cleveland Browns when he was just on a Super Bowl contending LA Rams team. So I mean, ultimately, look, he's going home. He's from Ohio. He's gonna have maybe the most leverage an edge rusher has ever had in his next contract negotiation, right? Like, he's gonna probably, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he has like the highest non-quarterback contract when he resigns, because again, like, you can look Cleveland in the face and say, you know, I want 110% or whatever the highest paid non-quarterback is. I think it's Will Anderson right now. Jared Verse can ask for all the money in the world. That being said, the reason that they're going to pay it to him is because it's going to fucking suck for him to be in Cleveland. Like, the irony is he's getting traded for somebody who could be, who is honestly like the vision of what his career is probably going to be. Not to say that he's Myles Garrett. And I know Jared said, I say Jared Verse could be better like Myles. I don't know if you mean as good as Myles or just better and like in the same tier. But the point being, like, I think when you look at Denzel Ward, I see Joe Hayden. And when we look at Jared Verse in a couple years, I think we're going to see Myles Garrett. The point isn't that they're the same player or that they're similar players. The point is that, like, all pro talent in Cleveland, things typically just end one way. So that's my concern there. In the same tier. Look, that's a high praise. I don't know if Jared Verse has Myles Garrett potential, but I think Jared Verse has like top 5 pass rushers in football kind of potential, and that's still doing pretty good in a deal like this. Like, to compare the Eagles AJ Brown trade, right? It would be like if they traded AJ Brown for what's a good like, because obviously AJ Brown isn't Myles Garrett, but I'm trying to think of oddly enough, maybe like a Mekhi Lemon, like if you trade one for the other. But yeah, when I get to the Eagles AJ Brown trade, there's a whole conversation that's probably gonna be relevant in terms of, like, again, the unknown of trading an established talent and hoping to replace that player. But yeah, I heard that the Myles Garrett deal is going to remain intact. He's not going to be looking for a pay raise. So that's big for the Rams. Again, like I said, Jared Verse is probably going to ask for all the money in the world and get it. But yeah, we haven't got a chance to preview the Rams season yet. It's just got a lot more interesting. We did preview the Browns season, and the big takeaway I would say is that they got worse. They got worse, right? Their defense, in terms of the personnel on their defense, it got worse from one year to the next. Their coaching got worse on defense. We talked about their issues on the offensive line. We talked about their issues at quarterback. We talked about the potential issues that could arise at receiver if the players don't pan out the way they want them to. So all things considered, man, Cleveland should be pretty bad next year. Poor Todd Monken, man. Not really. He's going to make a lot of money, but that's not great. Amen. Things just got dark. I think the only game they're gonna win is that game against they on a yearly basis. They win a game against Cleveland at home. That might be it. But yeah, that was the Myles Garrett Jared Verse trade, and we're gonna go away from that. Though we can always revisit it. But the other big move of the day, AJ Brown to the Patriots, finally happened the way it's been talked about for, I would say, months at this point. Yeah, definitely months. For people who don't know, this trade was realistically done probably in like March, but they couldn't do it until today because this is the day where the league officially turns over from the offseason to the season. And that has a pretty big impact on the way dead money goes on the cap sheets. So basically, if you get rid of a contract in the offseason, you have to take all the dead money in that one season, right? But if you do it during the season, then you take the dead money from that year in this season, and then you take all the other money in a future season. So that's why this had to happen June 1st, but this was realistically done for a long time. You can tell the Eagles drafted Mekhi Lemon for a reason. You can tell the Patriots, like, there's no way they were going to go to a Super Bowl and then come back next year with Romeo fucking Dobbs. Like, there's no way that was the plan. So this was always in the works. Again, I'm an Eagles fan, so there's that angle to, like, I know a lot more about the Eagles side of things than the Patriots side of things. There's a couple Patriots fans in the chat who can probably shed a little bit more light on that side of things. But to just focus on the Eagles side of things, this is like a thing where you have to separate like the player from the person, right? Okay, hold on real quick. The non-secret trade. Shout out to Venom. I don't know if you're new to the community, but shout out to you. If do we have a Rams fan in this community? No, yeah, okay, we have one. But if you're new, shout out to you. Congrats. Fucking hell, man. You guys are gonna have a fun season. We do watch-alongs on this channel. I do a lot of live streams during games. We'll be watching a lot of Rams. We did save $30 million. That's like a side benefit, but still. The only positive for someone getting traded to a place being going back home is, bro, I'm telling you, man, Jared Verse, he's got to wake up. Did you see that video, Jez, of Jared Verse at that event where the interviewer was like, we love a confident daddy, bro? To think that was that happened to that man last week, and then this happened today. He's had a fucked up week, bro. He's had a fucked up week. If for anyone who hasn't seen that clip, just look up Jared Verse. Look up Jared Verse interview. That's the fucking funniest shit ever. But yeah, man, this guy got straight up just harassed. And then got shipped to Cleveland in 1 week, bro. What the fuck? What kind of karma does he have racked up? But yeah, man. Yeah. What a trade for the Rams. But in terms of the AJ Brown trade, man, like from the Eagles standpoint, there's no possible benefit to getting rid of the player, but there might be a benefit to getting rid of the person. And the reason I say that is because the guy did not want to be in Philadelphia. And again, that objectively sucks. But once you accept that that's the case, then you have to get rid of the guy. And once we just accept the fact that he doesn't want to be here, then saving $30 million is good. And getting rid of the guy is good. However, the fact that we're there is fucking shit. So that's like the big thing I wanted like to say about this. There is no upside to trading the player, but there might be an upside to trading the person because the person somehow, some way decided this is not where I want to be. Why that's the case? I'll be honest. I don't think that there's any good reasons. I think AJ Brown seems to like, he wants to be the best player he can possibly be, and being in a run-first offense is not the way for him. And I think in expressing that and talking about it and taking his stances over the last couple of years now, he probably feels like not heard, not respected, that kind of stuff. So, the relationship ran its course. But like, you mean to tell me, and mind you, right, Venom, imagine if Aaron Donald comes back. Bro, if Aaron Donald comes back, cancel the season. AJ is an amazing player, but he becomes toxic. I don't know. Let me see if I can find the post. AJ Brown post after Super Bowl. You know what? Yeah, let me. Yo, okay. I'm gonna read this. Do I have to? Okay, cool. I closed it. I want to read you guys. Yo, chill. There we go. After a few days, I've had a time to reflect on being a champion. I tried to feel how everybody made it seem to be a champion, and unfortunately, it was short lived. 2 days to be exact. This motherfucker enjoyed winning a Super Bowl for 2 days. 2 days. I've never been a champion at the highest level before, but I thought my hard work would be justified by winning it all. It wasn't. My throw for this game comes from when I dominate. That's the end of the quote, right? The point is, bro, this guy would rather get 15 targets so that he can bully the other corner than do what he did blocking for Saquon. And the hard reality is that if this is what you have in your locker room, there is an addition by subtraction element to this. So again, it's like there's a very nuanced point here of like, if everything was good with AJ Brown, then this trade would be a massive L. But the reality is that he became a toxic asset because he doesn't want to be here for whatever reason that is. And at this point, it's good to get rid of him. I like Mekhi Lemon. I don't think Mekhi Lemon is ever going to be as good as AJ Brown. However, I don't think we even necessarily used AJ Brown properly. So we may not necessarily need AJ Brown to be a high-level football team. That being said, on a personal level, this man was one of my, like, easily my favorite receiver that I've watched in the Eagles uniform, and it sucks to see him go. But honestly, I watched Deshaun Jackson get cut. I watched Terrell Owens get cut. I've been through this pain before. At least we got a first-round pick back for him. Sorry, not to divert from the current convo, but I watched it. Funny how he got traded on the first day of private. Bro, that shit killed me. That shit killed me. I saw it, and I cried. June 1st, Ram said, get the hell out of here, man. This is LA. But in terms of the value, man, a first-round pick and a fifth-round pick, I would say that's damn good value considering that we traded a first-round pick and a third-round pick for him 4 years ago. So we got a 25-year-old receiver for a first and a third. We went to the playoffs 4 years in a row. We went to 2 Super Bowls. We won one, and now we're trading him a 29-year-old receiver for a first and a fifth. So the value is actually pretty good. Now, part of the reason we're able to make it happen is because Howie Roseman is willing to take picks in 2028. One of the benefits of having a GM with so much job security is that he can look at a different angle of things. And the different angle here is the fact that a lot of GMs don't even know that they're going to be around to make a 2028 pick. So we're going to devalue those picks. Those picks aren't really going to be worth much to us as a franchise. But Howie Roseman knows he's going to be here for a long time. So he can look at the Patriots and say, hey, if 2028 is the first time you feel like you're able to trade a first round pick, do it. So we get the first and the fifth. Happy with the value. Again, happy that an unhappy player is gone. Sucks that it had to be AJ Brown. From the Patriots side of things, is interesting because I think they got a pretty good receiver. What I will say, though, is that the decline is coming, and the decline has begun. I would say that peak AJ Brown was the middle of 2023. The middle of 2023, there was a stretch of games where he had 150 yards for 6 games in a row. That's where he was one of the best receivers on the planet. And there's been a slow, gradual decline since that point. Now, I still think that he's a great player. The point is, though, is that like New England I don't think they're even getting a receiver that's going to flatline. I think that they're getting a receiver that's going to gradually, slowly, be less and less productive. And a part of my point there is that like if you look at AJ Brown's game, like I would say obviously like he's not a bad route runner by any means, good route runner for sure, but a part of what his ability is that like he's a physical anomaly. Like to be as athletic as he is at 220 pounds is insane. And And yeah, if you look at cornerbacks in the NFL, how many cornerbacks are 220 pounds or even anything close? The cap at corner tends to be like 200 pounds. So it's the fact that he can be significantly stronger than his opponent while not giving up a whole ton athletically. That's what makes him an anomaly. For a player whose skill set is like that, the physical decline that comes with aging is going to be detrimental. The thing about AJ Brown is that for 3 seasons in a row, he's missed time with hamstring issues. For those people who might not be familiar, if you look into hamstring issues are a lingering thing that kind of never recover 100%. They can recover 99.8%. Like they can be very close to 100, but your hamstring will quite literally just never be the same. And when you start to see a player that's physically gifted pick up hamstring after hamstring after hamstring, you can rest assured that the decline of his athleticism is being like sped up by these injuries. This is a guy who's a second round pick with elite talent because of knee issues in college. Those reared their head in Philadelphia here and there. Like, the thing about AJ Brown is that like, there's a few reasons that this trade could maybe not look like good value for the Patriots. So I say that to say it probably doesn't care. It probably doesn't matter if you decide that, you know what, we're going to give ourselves a 2-year window because AJ Brown's going to be 29 this year. He's going to be 30 next year. We're going to give us 2 years to win a Super Bowl, and that's it. If you consider it that way, it's not a bad deal. My thing is that like Drake May is young as hell. And maybe this is an ultra aggressive push to win a Super Bowl while he's on his rookie contract. But like, if I was New England, I always felt like I would want to pair Drake May with a younger receiver that's going to be there for a long time. Like, I would have wanted, my first choice if I was New England would be George Pickens, because I think there's more longevity there. I also think Pickens is a little bit less dependent on stuff like just being a physical anomaly in ways that decline because he's really tall and he's always going to be tall. Crazy trade today. I made a vid about the Myles Garrett trade. Hey, everybody in here, man, make sure you guys go check out the Caden video. Make sure you hit the like button here and there and subscribe to both channels, people. But yeah, AJ Brown trade. Again, it sucks that it has to happen for Philly, but once you accept the fact that it has to happen, the trade didn't work out to be too bad from a value standpoint. For the Patriots, again, I think unless they win a Super Bowl, it's not going to look great because this is a declining player, in my opinion. 29-year-old in the NFL, 30 is a dirty word in the NFL. People say that all the time. But yeah, so these deals were interesting. With that being said, I'm going to open up the stream to the panel. I know Jared was here earlier. But yeah, if anybody wants the link, I'll drop it in the chat. We can hang out for a little bit longer, talk through these deals. If you guys want to look at the depth charts, yeah, we can look at the depth chart. Yo, close this commercial. No free ads and shit. There we go. Let me refresh one time. Man, this Cleveland roster is going to look so much shittier without Myles Garrett. Oh man. Jared verse. No Myles Garrett. I mean, okay, if we look at young talent on this defense, though, at least they have Mason Graham, Jared Verse, Carson Schweschinger. I expect Emmanuel McNeil-Warren to be dope. But yeah, if I was them, man, Denzel Ward, you are on another team.
What's going on?
Aiden in here. What's going on, man?
What's up?
Man. Okay, hold on. I gotta ask you. You were in school when the trade happened, right?
No, I'm off for the summer.
Oh, you guys are done early. Damn. Okay, you were home chilling because I was at work.
Yeah.
I would have gone live immediately had I known, but I was at work.
Yeah, I decided to make a video about it because I haven't posted recently because I went on vacation last week. So
also, it is kind of the dead part of the NFL calendar. Like, there's not necessarily all that much going on. Fuck out of here, ads. Where's the Rams? Oh my goodness, bro. Myles Garrett on the cross
Yeah.
across from Byron Young, Kobe
Mhm.
Turner and Braden Fisk in the interior of the line. And for what it's worth, I still think the linebackers are not that good with Landman and Spates. Like that's mediocre. But that being said, if you look at any of the past Rams teams, they don't care about the linebacker position like that. But yeah, man, at corner, they got the two corners from Kansas City that started, Quentin Lake and Kitchens. I think no. It was Cam Curl and Quentin Lake. They both handed them $10 million contracts. So you have a defense where I think the main weakness is linebacker, but outside of that, they're fine. Then offensively, all eyes are on Warren McClendon. We got a 5th round pick from 2023 who's going to play at right tackle. Hopefully he's ass, because that's going to really do a lot for us if Matthew Stafford doesn't have a ton of time. But it looks like a damn good team otherwise. Man, Caden, as NFC fans, I think we might be in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Also, Allen, what do you think of my haircut?
Hold on. Let's change it for the people. Okay. No, okay, hold on. I have a question. Who cut your hair?
My dad.
Oh, I see. No, it looks like a dad haircut for sure. You know, like because it's even. Like it's simple for a random to just like cut everything roughly the same length.
Yeah. The sides, yeah.
Yo, have you always had your dad cut your hair?
Yeah.
Okay. Yo, next time go to a barber, get a fade. Do it one time for the culture. General says, big up. General, man, give us thoughts, man. Give us thoughts. Cause fuck, man. What do we do? What do we do? Oh wait, what happened?
Some sad news.
Yo, I mean, to be honest, General's 100,000% capable of joking. Oh, Rick Adelman just passed away. Rest in peace.
Damn.
David Adelman's father, for those who don't know, long-time NBA coach. But yeah, man, General, man, give us thoughts. Give us thoughts on the NFL trades today. One of them we already knew about. We already knew AJ Brown was going to be a Patriot, but Myles Garrett to the Rams, just like that. Like there wasn't even a trade saga and like a flurry of rumors, and there wasn't even anything like that. Like 1 second the Browns were open to trading him, the next second he's a LA Ram, and I'm in my lunchroom just not knowing how to react. But then to slide over to the Patriots thing now. So the thing about the Patriots now is that like, and this is what happens when you get a wide receiver one. AJ Brown slots in as your one. Romeo Doubs is a functional 2. Like I don't love Romeo Doubs as a 2, but it's standard. It's fine. But when you start to look at the rest of their receiving core, Mac Hollins, Kyle Williams, Demario Douglas, Kayshawn Booty, bro, all those guys as your like 3, 4, 5, 6. Right now you have some good depth. You have a lot of options. And yeah, just Drake May has like some pretty solid weapons in the air. He has a functional running back duo. The question for me is mainly just going to be the offensive line, right? Because there's a lot of continuity there. Now they switched positions for Jared Wilson, so they expect Jared Wilson to be better at center than guard. But Elijah Vera Tucker should help. That being said, Elijah Vera Tucker is very injury prone, so
the audio
to watch there.
Yeah. The audio was like really weird, and I just had to refresh.
Oh, okay. I think Phil Rivers will play running back 3 for us, maybe in high school. But in all honesty, I think the trades are fair. Maybe for Garrett a bit over adding a verse to it, but that's the deal. No, you know what it is though, is that like I think the Rams paid a fair price. Like I don't think that deal is a good deal or a bad deal from a value standpoint for anyone. Like it's just a fair deal. But my main thing I said about Cleveland is that like had they got 3 first-round picks, let's say, I wouldn't have trusted them to do the right thing with the picks. I would have kind of assumed that they would mess the picks up, right? So the fact that they got Jared Verse as the insurance against messing the picks up, but then you also got the picks to give that real upside, because in theory, this trade could get them their franchise quarterback. And if you trade Myles Garrett for a franchise quarterback, that's at least a fair, like that's an okay deal. But yeah, this was a part of the minor news that I was going to get to. But Russell Wilson joining CBS as an analyst. The key thing here, though, is that he didn't announce that he's retiring, which means that this is just on the table as what he's going to do if he's not playing football. But there's a chance. I mean, honestly, this might be like smart as a leverage move, because he just worked out for the Jets 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, I don't think he, like, if he decided he was done with football, I think he would have announced retirement. But I think there's still a small chance he ends up on a roster. We just know he's going to be on TV. Now, my thing about Russell Wilson as a TV analyst is I hope we get the real Russell Wilson, not like the media trained quarterback company man Russ. That's not going to be fun. I hope he cuts.
He's going to take place of Matt Ryan.
Well, yeah, because Matt Ryan left, so that would make sense. And then this was the rest of the minor news. Juju and OBJ joining the Giants is just funny because you're talking about probably the two most TikTok friendly receivers in the history of the NFL signing to be teammates. Bro, do you know how much content they're going to make on the sidelines?
It's crazy.
My goodness, bro. TikTok on TikTok on TikTok. Coming out of East Rutherford. And then was there anything else? Let's see. But yeah, no, Schefter had all the big news. You got the OBJ reunion. Oh, Barrios. I think this is Braxton Barrios signing. Yeah, so the Giants signed 3 receivers. Eagles signed a random camp body to play receiver. Not much to say about Samari Roll, but he's probably not going to make the team. But yeah, that was the big NFL news today. But yeah,
it'd be funny.
Go ahead.
It'd be funny if Aaron Donald retired and went back to the Rams.
I don't know if funny is the right word, my guy. It would be terrifying. It would be terrifying if that man came back.
All I know is that we don't play the Rams this season, so
apparently we're favorites to sign Hill. I mean, the McDaniel connection kind of makes that make sense. My only thing is that I heard Tyreek Hill might not even play football this year. Like, he might not be healthy enough. So that part, I don't like. Again, I don't know. That report may have been wrong. But no, Tyreek Hill would make sense because if you think about it too, right? I like the Chargers receivers, but their receivers don't have the downright like just speed that Mike McDaniel had in Miami with Waddle and Hill. So if there's one thing I thought, it's that they would probably add a speed option. I think they drafted a receiver. His name is Brennan Thompson. I think he's lightning quick, but I don't think a late pick is sufficient, like enough to say that, all right, like that need has been taken care of. So in the back of my head, I kind of always had one eye on the Chargers adding like a speed demon at receiver. So if they get Tyreek Hill, that would definitely be that. But yeah, somebody has to trade for Kayshon Boutte. Somebody has to do it because you just paid AJ Brown and Romeo Doubs. What that means to me is that there's basically no money left in New England at the receiver spot. So when you look at the two young receivers that are in the last year of their deals, Kayshon Boutte and Pop Douglas, you're not getting re-signed. So for both of these players, why would you want to be in New England where you're going to be the wide receiver maybe 5 and 6 in a contract year? No, get me out of there. So I expect Boutte and Pop Douglas to be on the move. All things leads to I mean, to be honest, I haven't seen anything one way or another, so I may have missed things, but I still think Miami is going to struggle to put the best offer on the table. And then the last depth chart to look at, I guess, is Philly, who, yeah, now with no AJ Brown, you're talking about Devontae 1, Lemon 2, and then the 3-4 competition. Not even, no, Dontavian Wicks is going to be the 3. Hollywood Brown is the 4, and then obviously, what people's wide receiver 5s and 6s tend not to be like notable players, anyways. But that's the order of things in Philly. The main room for variance here is that maybe the Wicks will be the 2 and Mackay could be the 3 if Lemon isn't ready early. But yeah, I'm gonna open that link up and see what the hell he's talking about. But shout out to everybody in here. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Let us know your thoughts about the deals in the chat if you haven't already. This tweet's hilarious. Anybody click this chat. No, I can find it. The guy's name is Venerable. Hold on. Is this guy a Cardinals guy? Oh, he is a Cardinals guy. That makes it way funnier to me.
Oh yeah. Somebody predicted the Cardinals were gonna go 16-1.
Yo, it's possible, man.
They're gonna tie with the Jets.
There are layers and levels to the NFL. One team in the NFC West is trading for Myles Garrett. The other is having a public contract dispute with Jacoby Brissett. Man, it must be depressing to be a Cardinals fan right now.
Mm-hmm.
That part I can see completely. My goodness.
So I was saying that we probably should have lost to the Saints because then we could have played the Cardinals this year.
Yeah, you could have played Gardner Minshew maybe.
Minshew Mania.
Yeah, because I mean Jacoby Brissett still has not shown up.
Mm-hmm.
Sentence. Damn, sentenced to prison? That's hilarious to be reported as NBA news, but fair enough. We'll see. Maybe Kawhi is going to be a free agent after all. But yeah, shout out to everybody in here. We're probably going to wrap the stream up here. Just wanted to quickly touch base with the people. Crazy day for sure. But yeah, I'll be back on Sunday night. For the people who don't know, spread the word. We're doing Sunday night football streams for the next 7 weeks or so, covering every single division. We covered the AFC North last night. Make sure you go check that stream out if you haven't already. But every Sunday night, we're on the channel talking about one division and how we expect things to go for that division. What we like, what we don't like kind of like the good, the bad, and the ugly of every team. So we just did the AFC North. We have the NFC North coming on Sunday night. So remember, Sunday night, 8:30, as if you're watching football. That's how we're going to do it. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Yeah, facts. Subscribe to Caden too. In the meantime, we got 2 NBA Finals streams this week. So Wednesday and Friday, the Game 1, Game 2 of the NBA Finals at Toronto Hoop Talk. So see you guys there. Last one. All right, let's check this out. Is this about Jamal Murray? If this is about Jamal Murray, I got like very, very quick and brief commentary about that.
Let me see how many views the videos have gotten yet.
This is funny. I like this. People, if
it's only got 10 views.
Click this link, man. This is a funny video. But yeah, we're out. We'll see you guys on Sunday and then at Toronto Hoop Talk on Wednesday.